Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to be discussing with you today is how damaging it can be on the dating market when you are raised in a single parent home. So yes, there are baggage that we are experiencing among one another when we try to date each other. And a lot of that is because most of us come from single parent homes. It affects both genders, both male and female alike. It affects how they interact with each other, believe it or not. So we're going to go ahead and cover some of this right quick. And I also will provide statistical data to back up what the hell I'm saying to you. And this is for educational purposes only. So give me a second as I pull up on your screen. We're about to get into this, Jack. Boom. All right. Let's get it.
Like, he grew up in a two-parent household with an active mom and active dad. I grew up with a single mom. So for me as a kid, my mother was the judge, the jury, the president, Congress, everything. Like, she made all the decisions. So I knew for me it was going to be like a change in my mentality of realizing this was a collaborative effort.
Let's start right there. I want you to understand what she said. Her mother ran everything. And I've said this before in other videos. Most black daughters in the black community are not used to seeing wives. They are only used to see baby mamas. They're used to seeing their mama deal with different men. And one of the main things that come with that is very detrimental is that they saw mama do everything. Mama didn't need no help. Mama was good on her own. You get what I'm saying? I'm single. I'm better off single. So these young women, they take on that mentality. And then when they become attracted to a man and the man becomes attracted to her and they decide to get into a relationship, she's thinking like her mother. It's hard for her to work with that man or get on that man's program because she never had an example of that. She never had a mother who would teach her and set her down and say, look, when you with the man, this is what you need to do. Even though I'm single and I don't have a man, even though I don't have a husband, baby, this is what most men are going to want from a woman. A lot of women have a lot of degrees, but yet they are uneducated when it comes to dealing with men. You get what I'm saying? So it's a fight. It's a struggle because mama have taught them how to be so independent. Mama never taught them about interdependence. Mama never taught them about being submissive to a man. All mama ever taught her was how to get over a man, how to break a man, how to try to lead the man, not to follow the man. And like she said, she realized once she got into a relationship with the man, a real man, that she was going to have to make adjustments. You see, all women understand and recognize when they are dealing with a real man. Now, women on the flip side also know when they are dealing with a beta male. So they don't try to worry about working with the beta male because the beta male is going to follow her. So she don't have to really put up a fuss. She don't have to put in no real effort. But when a woman gets a real man, a man that's on his purpose, a man that is on his grind, then she sees she has to shape up or ship out, Jack. But a lot of this is because being raised in a single parent home. Now, I want you to understand, y'all, how terrible it is to be raised by a single parent mother, because according to the statistics, children are at higher risk of catching STDs, losing their virginity, or going to jail when they're raised inside of a single parent home that is ran by a mother as opposed to being raised by a single parent father, okay? The dangerous thing about this is if she has boys, them boys are going to take up feminine traits from mama. If she has a daughter, that daughter is going to take up that independent feminist mindset from mother. Let's keep going.
Because my mother didn't collaborate with anybody. Whatever she said went. There was nobody she was asking for, like, is this okay? Right. And my mother raised all girls with us raising boys. I didn't have guys in our house.
It was your mom and your sisters.
Yes, it was four. It was 5 girls in the house. That was it. My mom and the 4 of us. So I knew going in that I was going to have to change my perspective of what parenting looked like just because my situation was completely different than what I was raised in.
That's exactly the truth. So, you know, I got to bring you the truth on the Jeremy Hill Show. I got more clips. I want to show y'all this because women love being single mothers. Women love saying, I don't need no man. But what you're doing, you're creating what they call a generational curse. You're teaching your children how to not be cooperative with a man or woman in some cases, but mostly women. And they living lifestyles of misery because mama didn't teach you no better. You get what I'm saying? All right, let's put this on the screen. Let us get into this too. Here we go.
In life, I'm not dating a man that does not come from a two-parent household. I don't care what race you are.
You came from a two-parent household?
No, but I'm gonna explain to you why. There's a big difference with the man who was raised with his mother and father versus a man who was just raised with his mother. And I had the pleasure of marrying a guy who was raised by his mom, and I dated seriously a guy who was raised by both parents. It's a big difference. And coming from a household where I was raised by my mom, as a grown woman, I'm telling you, it's a difference.
I do agree that there is a difference, but I can't necessarily say that I'm only going to deal with men who came from a two-parent household, because I don't know.
No, excuse me, my neck messing up. The reason why she can say that right there, because most men are raised in single parent homes. Okay, now it is a difference. I'm telling you, there's a difference between a girl or a lady who was raised in a traditional minded two-parent home as opposed to a woman or a girl who was raised in a single parent home under the rules of feminism, underneath, oh, we got to get it. Teaching their daughter to always be anxious, teaching their daughter to always be on alert, teaching their daughters to always feel as if they are in survival mode. It is a big difference. See, like, some women who are raised in single two-parent homes don't feel that they need to take out the trash because they saw the men, the father, the brothers take out the trash within the home. And then you got some women who are raised in a single-parent home who will just take out the trash because mama did everything. And then, like, if a man from let me say it like this, a man who was raised in a one-parent home where he saw mama take out the trash as well, he'll expect his girlfriend to take out the trash or his wife to take out the trash because that's what he always seen. And if that woman is raised in a two-parent home and she always saw her father and brothers do all those type of chores, there's going to be a conflict there. She's going to be like, I don't take out the trash. He's going to be like, what you mean you don't take out the trash? Because he saw one thing and she saw another. This one-parent home is destroying our communities. It is destroying how we deal with each other. It is destroying how we relate to each other. We think one person is better than the other, or we think that person believes that that person is better than the other person because of our backgrounds. You see what I'm saying? If everybody had traditionally minded two-parent homes, it would be easier for men and women alike to get along. This is why I'm so against women who are so happy about having many baby showers with zero marriage proposals. I am against these women who say it's okay to have a child and raise that child alone without the father. Just get him for child support. We don't need him, girl. You are destroying the futures. Or you making it difficult, rather, let me say that. You're making it extremely difficult for your children to get into functional relationships. So when they come together with men, these women, they have to learn everything over from scratch because they were never taught anything from their modernized mothers. You understand what I'm saying, Jack? Let's keep going.
So I can't put judgment on another person and say that's what you have to have. But have you worked and do you acknowledge that because you didn't have that you do have some deficiencies?
Yeah,
I know as a woman I have some deficiencies, and it took me a while to know that. Mm-hmm. But I realized that I do have some deficiencies. And of course, like he stated, it's a constant work in progress.
Right.
I have to check myself when dating a man and he says a certain thing. He's like, I don't like that you did that. I have to then check myself and say, you know what, I'm sorry.
Think about what she said. She has to check herself. You know why she has to check herself? Because her mama didn't have no one to check her. So she had to learn how to check herself from getting out of line because she used to her mama talking mad crap. Now, what I need to address also is the fact, even if you have two-parent in the household, does not necessarily mean that you're being raised correctly. Because a lot of times there are people who are being raised by both mother and father, but the mother and father doesn't have time to invest in that child because they're always working. That also cripples that child. Okay? Let's cover that right now. Let's speak right back on it in just a second. Let's get it.
Bro, I come from a household, two-parent household. Mum and dad was there. Obviously, dad used to travel a lot because of work and stuff. And mum had 5 kids. And my sister said to my mum, kind of made her cry, to be fair, but my sister was just being honest. She was like, when you say love, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, the first time I saw like a loving family was when I watched my wife and kids. I didn't feel love in my house. I just felt like we were just raised.
No, see, but the problem with that is
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. A lot of children are being raised in two-parent households, but not being taught love or how to recognize love, not how to give love, not how to receive love and things like that. So even though if you have a two-parent household and your parents are not engaging with the children, showing love and things that are fatherly love, motherly love, taking time to invest in that child, building that child's self-esteem, validating the children like that, it could be almost as destructive as a child being raised in a single-parent home. So the people who have two-parent homes are the ones, let me say it like this. If you're a mother and a father, and both of you are raising your children underneath the same roof, you have to really pay attention to how you interact with your children. You still have to pour into your children. You still have to invest in your children. You still have to validate your children, love on your children, so they can feel the benefit. Because a lot of children are being raised in two-parent homes as well. Not many in the black community, but there are those in the black community who have that blessing of two-parent home, but yet they still feel the same thing that a child will feel in a single parent home. That makes sense. You still have to give them, let them feel the benefit of two parents, because there are children who don't feel the benefit of having two parents. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
We have a different version of what our parents like. For them, I think what their version of love is we have this, putting this on your back and this, roof on your head.
So literally for them, it's literally like for their parents, when you grow up in, I think is we may have spoken about this, but where there's struggle and survival, where you kind of live in a survival type of situation. So when you're living in survival mode, essentially, like it's literally your parents can give you 3 square meals. That's love, because like you have no idea what I had to do for this 3 square meal.
And that is correct also. You got to understand where your parents come from in life too. In their lifetime, they probably thought just providing is an expression of love. And everybody's different. Some people need that provision. Everybody need a provision. But at the same time, they may also need you to tell them, son, I love you. Daughter, I love you. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. So you got to understand where your parents come from too, because maybe that's how they were taught too. So all it's going to take is a conversation with your parents, if possible. Now, let me put some statistical data on the screen for you. 1 second, y'all. I want to show you something right here about these two-parent homes. Can you dig it? All right. Yeah. All right. Is it there? Oh, yeah, it's there. Let's get it. All right. According to, what is it? I can't remember. It's ifstudies.org. You can look it up for yourself. Institute of Family Studies. That's what it is. Okay, let's keep going. Continual racial disparities in two-parent families. As may be seen in Figure 4, in 2022, 81% of Asian children live with both married birth parents. So did 70% of white children, 55% of Hispanic children, and 51% of multiracial children. But only 1/3, which is 33-point-something%, y'all, but only 1/3 of black children live with married parents. This was written in January 10th, 2024. Let me show you something else. How much is 1/3 in percentage? 33.3%. All right. Now, what does that mean to you? Excuse me. Now, what does that mean for us? That means that over 67% of our kids are being raised in one-parent homes, because only 33%, 1/3 of black Americans and black communities are actually enjoying the benefits of being in a two-parent home. I want y'all to really think about that. All right, so that's why the dating scene is so fickle, so messed up, because you're dealing with grown people whose childhood wasn't right. It's not natural, y'all. I don't care what people try to tell you. It's not natural to be raised in a single-parent home. I don't give a damn what these women are telling you. It ain't natural. It's just not natural. All right, I got one more clip for you, and she's going to tell you something kind of interesting. Let's get it.
So trying to date when one person was raised by a single parent and the other person grew up with both their parents who were married. How does this complicate a relationship? Now, I can only speak from a female's point of view, but I've been thinking about this as I'm trying to go through some of the things that cause difficulty in my relationship. And one of them was the fact that I grew up with both of my parents, and my dad set a standard on how his daughter should be treated. And he also showed me by example by how he treated my mother upon marrying someone who grew up with a single mom. So there was one of the first issues I remember us ever having upon getting married and moving in together was he asked me to take out the trash, and I was like, I'm not taking out the trash. And he was confused and looked at me like I was nuts. Like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't take out the trash. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, my dad took out the trash. I don't take out the trash. And he took it out. He was a little perplexed. And there were other things that I realized didn't come innately to him around how I should be treated and what our roles were going to be, because the way I grew up and the way he grew up was different. And then I had to realize he grew up watching his mother do everything. She took out the trash. She warmed up her own car. She did these things. So this wasn't something that in his eyes I was above doing. And it took things.
Do you understand what I was saying earlier? She's saying the same exact thing. A lot of times people's opinion of gender roles is greatly, what's the word for it? It's greatly influenced by what they've seen their mothers and fathers do, or the lack of fathers in the home, or lack of mothers in the home. Because gender roles, when it comes to relationships, are best expressed in front of a child by their parents. It gives them an opportunity to see what a father and mother does. It gives them an opportunity to see what a husband and wife does. It gives a daughter an opportunity to let her know what type of man to try to get in the world. It gives that boy an idea of what type of woman he should get in the world by looking at these examples. So when you take away one half out of the two-parent household, they lacking. They're lacking. They trying to figure it out on their own and shit. And then when they meet someone who actually comes from a two-parent household, they're lost. They don't know what to do. They get mad. They get upset. They think one person is acting the wrong way when they're actually acting right. They don't get it because they are coming from single-parent households. I keep trying to beat that in your head, but single-parent households, motherfucker, stop making these single-parent household motherfucker. That's what I'm doing. Let's keep going.
Things. I also noticed as I'm talking to my sons and their adventures in dating, that when they date women who come from single mothers, those women feel like the things that they do for them are kind of simping or not masculine, which is weird, or controlling. When they date girls who grew up with their father, they're more accepting and understanding of how this dynamic should go. So I'm curious, what's your experience? Share. I'd love to hear it in the comments, or stitch it.
Bye. Yeah, well, I think I done gave y'all my point of view. So anyway, you let me know what you think about this message, all right? And what's your opinion is? Put it in the comment. Do you think it's the relationship seen is better or worse when a person comes from a single parent home or a double parent home? Can you dig it? Now, I like this microphone I got, y'all. I've been rocking this microphone, man. It listen to me, man. It made me sound sexy than a motherfucker. Yeah, she wet right now.